you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
.3 Citi FM. This is the Citi Prime News. We're broadcasting live from our studio at Adabraka here in Accra. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, Public Accounts Committee flags astronomical increase in rents for the Youth Employment Agency from 3.2 million cedis to 5.5 million cedis in 1 year.
If your landlord comes to you and tells you that I handed over the building to Citi Management Company and we are increasing rent by 72.5%, would you have accepted it?
Also in this edition of the Citi Prime News, voting underway in the Ashanti region as the Ghana Journalists Association elects a chairperson for the regional branch who will be at the election venue for the latest update.
I'm just praying, hoping that the process will end peacefully as it has already begun. I'm expecting that this time around, whoever wins, the other opponent will accept.
Still on the Citi Prime News, Ghana Bar Association refutes allegations that it has not invited President of the Republic John Dramani Mahama to the 2025 Annual Bar Conference.
The allegations in the publications are false, misleading, and a misconception of facts, and the GBA urges all persons to verify information on such matters before publishing same.
And later on the Citi Prime News, 5 persons filed nominations to contest NDC internal primaries in a bid to occupy the Tamale Central parliamentary seat left vacant by the untimely death of Dr. Murtala Muhammad. All that and more coming up on the Citi Prime News, which is live from our studio in Adabraka here in Accra. In the Western region, we're heard live on 105.5 FM, which is Beach FM, and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrady. In the Bono region, we're on Green FM 95.9 in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we're on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM. Also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevo and VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. The news is also heard live around the world on citinewsroom.com.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
I'm Charles Osukume, grateful to you this afternoon for choosing Citi FM. Let's begin the bulletin from Parliament. The Public Accounts Committee of the House has raised eyebrows over a 72% increase in the rent payment for the Youth Employment Agency from 3.2 million Ghana cedis to 5.5 million Ghana cedis between the year 2023 and 2024. Management of the Youth Employment Agency states that the rent payment started when the facility it currently occupies was handed over to Messrs. K&A Developers as private managers of the Ministry of Works and Housing in 2023. Appearing before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, the leadership questioned management of the YEA over its silence on the surge in the recent rent payment. Here are excerpts of the proceedings at the committee. What
is it?
Well, we're working on that inset. Before that, the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Apariado, announced an engagement with the Office of the Chief of Staff to find a permanent location for the Youth Employment Agency as part of efforts to tackle the high cost of rent.
The CEO and myself have engaged with the Chief of Staff's office in respect to permanent accommodation for the YE, and we are working on that. And so I believe in due time we will report to this August House what plans have been made and what facilities have been allocated to us so that the YE can move into a more permanent premises, and then we'll do away with the rent issues.
You heard the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Opariado. Let's move on away from Parliament briefly and head to the Ashanti region, because voting is underway for the rerun of the Ashanti Regional Chairperson election of the Ghana Journalists Association. The rerun follows a decision by the Election Dispute Adjudication Committee after a petition was filed by one of the candidates and subsequently reviewed through stakeholder engagement. The context is between Kofi Adu-Domfe and Georgina Ama Ankuma. Our bureau chief for the Middle Belt, Hafiz Tijani, is joining us via telephone for more on this election. Grateful to you, Hafiz, for joining us. Tell us about what's going on in the Ashanti region with regards to this election by the Ghana Journalists Association.
Well, so here at the Electoral Commission office in the Ashanti region, voting is underway and the place is calm. All the members who are supposed to vote have come in and vote. They have cast their vote and have left. They have to go and attend to other errands. And out of the 31 people who are eligible to vote in this election, 29 of them have voted so far, and they are waiting for the Electoral Commission is waiting for the rest of the voters on the list to come and also cast their vote. But so far, it has been smooth since morning, except that one of the members who is the current chairman of the GJA came to raise a concern about a proxy vote. He says that in the previous election, one of the candidates who is outside of the country chose an individual to go ahead and vote for him in the proxy process. But this time around, the same individual chose another person to vote for him, and he raised some concerns. But we have put this question to the GJA president, Mr. Albert Jumfor, who came around to monitor the process. He says that the proxy process has been activated or was activated in the previous election and in this election. And the person who is supposed to do the voting for the individual or the member who is outside of the country has the member's discretion or the consent to vote. That doesn't matter. So the member is using the discretion to choose whosoever he wants to do the proxy vote for him. So that has been addressed. He says that he tried and then explained this issue to the candidates and also their agents, and they have understood. But so far, the process has been smooth, Charles.
Well, Hafiz, we know that this election was postponed to today because of some issues during the first polls that were held. Have those issues now been resolved?
Well, according to the GJA president, when the petition came through, they looked at the petition and they have made some consultations, and they have also spoken to the candidates and also done their individual investigations to know the issues, and they have addressed issues of that came in the petition or that came with the petition, and they have addressed that, and they expect that this vote should finalize everything. So he has been calling on all the candidates in this race and their supporters and also their agents to accept any results that will come out of today's election. So he says that all those outstanding issues were addressed before today.
Grateful to you, Hafiz. Hafiz Tijani is Middle Belt Bureau Chief. Now, the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Jumfor, has expressed satisfaction with the peaceful conduct of the rerun of that election. So far, he has urged the candidates to accept the outcome of the results at the end of the process. Let's listen to him.
I like the serene environment. I like the calm and how peaceful the process is going, especially how smooth it has been so far. This is all what we are all expecting, because as we speak, the Ashanti Regional Rerun has actually stored progress in terms of activities of the association, especially at the national council level, because without the Ashanti Regional Rep, we cannot fully constitute national council. And so I'm just praying, hoping that the process will end peacefully, as it has already begun or has already ongoing. I'm expecting that this time around, whoever wins, or whoever carries the day, the other opponent will accept. We just expect the outcome of the election will be accepted by both parties.
You heard the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Kwabena Jumfo Leste. In the Ashanti region, the Regional Health Directorate has expressed concern over a sharp rise in maternal deaths, which have exceeded the national targets of 125 deaths per 100,000 live births. At the 2025 Media Performance Review meeting in Kumasi, Regional Health Director Dr. Fred Adomako Boateng disclosed that 232 maternal deaths were recorded in the first half of 2025 alone, compared to 144 in 2023 and 158 in 2024. He linked the increase to poor referral coordination and limited capacity at peripheral health facilities and urged urgent systemic interventions to address the situation.
For institutional maternal mortality ratios, the half year was 144 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births. 2024 half year, it was 158 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births. And for this half year under review, it is 232 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births. Colleagues, and this is against the national target of 125 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births. The proportion of deliveries attended by trained health workers for 2025 half year was 59%. 2024 it was 52.5%, and 2025 is 53.7%. And the target for this indicator, colleagues, is 65%. If you look at the skilled delivery geographical equity index, it was 0.12 in 2023, 0.18 in 2024, and 0.16 in 2025. Nanache, and the target for this indicator is 0.7.
That was the Ashanti Regional Health Director, Dr. Fred Adomako Boateng. Away from the Ashanti region to the northern region, because as part of efforts to fill the Tamale Central constituency seats, which became vacant following the tragic helicopter crash, the Northern Regional Office of the NDC has opened nominations. Prospective candidates have until Sunday, August 24 to pick up and submit their nomination forms. On the first day of the exercise, about 5 aspirants collected forms, including former Mayor of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly, Abdul Rahman Gundadu, Halid Abdul Rauf, and the NDC's National Vice Chairman, Saidu Mohammed, among others. Some of the aspirants has been speaking to Citi News.
My bid, first of all, is to bring back technically the life of Honorable Murtala Mohammed, to serve the people of Tamale Central, and to continue with the legacy he left behind. His death was untimely. His death was not expected. His death came at a time we wanted him to continue. And I said it somewhere, if he was alive and he was not contesting, he would have wanted me to take up the mantle and lead the people.
Before the emergence of certain aspirants, some misinformation was sent out to suggest that the national body has become someone for the people of Tamale Central constituency, and that when we did our cross checks, we realized it was not true. Yeah, we did our checks to the national level, and they said they have no interest. That will leave everything to the constituency to determine.
You heard some NDC aspirants vying for the Tamale Central seat. Let's now go over the phone lines and speak to our Northern Regional correspondent, Shawana Yusuf, who is currently at the party's regional office. Good afternoon to you, Shawana. The picking of nomination forms and submission, we're told that 5 persons have already picked the forms and submitted it. What is the general mood of Tamale Central?
Generally, thank you so much, Charles. Let me say, generally, Tamale Central is calm, as usual. After the burial and funeral of the late MP, things are beginning to bounce back to normalcy. And here at the party office, we see candidates as well as their supporters trooping in to pick their nominations to contest for the Tamale Central constituency seat.
Well, these persons who have picked the forms, you mentioned that there's the former mayor of Tamale Metropolitan Assembly. There's NDC's national vice chairman. I mean, if you look at the caliber of persons who have picked the forms, who are you expecting to emerge out of this contest?
Okay, thank you, Charles. Currently, as it stands, is dicey. Until the D-Day comes, we are not able to tell. Competition actually looks very keen. Looking at the names that are popping up, currently, as we speak, about a total of 7 people have come to pick their forms for nomination. And looking at the names that are popping, we have lawyer Abdulrahman Gundado, who happens to be the former mayor of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly. Lawyer Abdul Rauf Khalid, who is currently the vice chair of the National Democratic Congress at the national level. Seydu Mohammed, communications officer for Tolong constituency, also picked his nomination this morning. We have Mariam Masalifu, a princess from Zabzugu, who currently works in the Ghana office at Niger, also having people come to pick her nomination on her behalf, and also Abdul Rahman Abdul Rashid, a doctor. And we hear close to about 15 people are likely to pick their nomination to contest the seat. So currently, as it stands, we are not able to tell until maybe after the submission of the nominations and also voting takes place. Then we can see, the grounds can be clear to predict what happens. Currently, we have about 5 people, and it seems tight. We have a lot of high-level dignitaries picking, well-known people in the party, in the region are picking. So currently, as it stands, it's quite dicey, and we don't know where it's swinging. But out of this number, we've heard the names of 3 women popping up, and so far 2 of these women have come to pick their nomination forms this morning at the party office in the region.
Grateful to you, Shawana. Shawana Yusuf is our Northern Regional Correspondent, reporting from the party's regional office as aspirants pick and submit nomination forms in a bid to replace the former Member of Parliament who passed away in that helicopter crash. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. Still ahead in the bulletin, 1 more suspect arrested in connection with the alleged murder of the immigration officer Stephen Kin Amwa. Stay with us, we have details shortly.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025, a celebration of excellence in locally made goods and services. This year's exhibition brings together the very best that Ghana has to offer, from timeless traditional crafts to cutting-edge innovations. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. Brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM, this is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. Join us in championing Ghanaian talent, creativity, and authenticity. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining Made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through to 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the Afro Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, Side Hustle by EK Brand Consult, Ghana Ghana Enterprises Agency, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and Ghana Exim Bank, and is supported by 20 Industrial Company Limited and Built Financial Technologies.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Welcome back. This is the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM, broadcasting from Adabraka in Accra. In the northern region, you can listen to us on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, we're live on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the Upper West region, we're on Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and on Jirapa 96.1 FM. Let's now do some politics. The campaign team of NPP flag bearer aspirant Dr. Yao Osei Aduchum has rejected data suggesting that the former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading the NPP presidential race with 52%. A recent poll by Global Info Analytics placed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the lead, while Dr. Yao Osei Aduchum ranked fourth with 1%. Reacting to the poll in an interview with Citi News, spokesperson for the Aduchum campaign, Yao Opoku Mensah, disputed the findings, saying their internal polls show different results.
We wouldn't want to sit and wait for an individual outside our fold to do a survey to come and tell us that this and this and this and this is what the dictates are, especially when we know we are on the ground. Mind you, currently there is a ban or a freeze on campaign activities till the Akwetia by-elections is over. And therefore, within space till January, anything can happen within that space. But we do our own internal thing that helps us as to where the loophole is and what we need to do to fill that loophole. And that is what our campaign strategy has always been. And we don't any outside pool to tell us anything different from what we know. What we know is what we believe in. What we know is still engaging delegates at the polling station level. So we have our own internal things that we are doing our own internal things. And we believe January will give us a clearest indication as to who wins the polls.
Voice of spokesperson for the Dr. Yao Osei Aduchum campaign, Yao Opoku Mensah. Away from that, the National Commercial Motor Riders Association has commended the Minister for Communications for ordering a halt to the enforcement exercise targeting unlicensed delivery riders. In a Twitter post yesterday, the minister instructed the Postal and Courier Services Regulatory Commission to suspend the operation pending further stakeholder engagement and public education. Speaking to Citi News, the association's public relations officer, Solomon Akpanaba, urged the government to involve their members in the consultations to arrive at a fair and practical solution.
That is very, very good. It shows that this government is sensitive to the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. So we thank Honorable Sam George for his intervention. We appreciate him so much. And by large extent, we appreciate the NDC government for taking into consideration the fact that the activities of the Regulatory Commission was in a bad taste. Some are yet to go and get their bikes back. Some have gotten them back. And we are giving the information out there. We are telling them that they can go back for their bikes. In fact, they deserve to be compensated. We expect those who did this thing to compensate our riders for how they malhandled them, they harassed, they disrespected, they disregarded their dignity. We expect compensation.
You heard Public Relations Officer for the National Commercial Motor Riders Association, Solomon Akpanaba. Meanwhile, the Postal and Courier Services Regulatory Commission has revealed that some individuals are using independent delivery riders to smuggle precious minerals out of the country. The disclosure follows the arrest of over 150 riders during a joint enforcement operation by the Motor Traffic and Transport Department and the Commission. Speaking on the Channel One TV's Breakfast Daily Show, the Commission's Public Relations and Consumer Affairs Manager Ni Yabua Edwin Bergetson says the crackdown is part of a broader effort to ensure the nation receives its due revenue from legitimate courier operations.
Somewhere last year, there was the need for the Commission to work with other state agencies to ensure that our state is sanitized. The reason being that some unscrupulous people took advantage of the presence of these individual riders to be smuggling items, and then some, precious minerals that had to, fetch the country the needed revenue were also being smuggled via the use of these individual riders.
He also stressed that the Commission's goal is not to punish the riders themselves, but to hold the courier companies accountable.
Many of these companies have taken on these young guys, and they are working for them. We didn't set out to punish anyone, but these companies were written to provide us with details of the individuals, also, roll up on give us details on the individuals they also contacted to provide service on the platform. And it was surprising to know that none of them responded to the request that the Commission put out there. And this isn't something that we set out to do only this week. It's been coming on. And they themselves have been asking us when we'll be undertaking the exercise. So, to answer your question, if you want to know whether we did a general public sensitization, no. But within the sector, some sort of sensitization was undertaken.
That was the Public Relations and Consumer Affairs Manager at the Postal and Courier Services Regulatory Commission, Niyeboa Edwin Bergeson. Away from that, the Harbour View Estate Residents Association says more than 10.5 acres of land have been destroyed in the ongoing demolition exercise at the Sakumo Ramsar site, affecting over 240 residential plots and leaving many homeowners distressed. The demolitions, which began on August 4, are being carried out by the Greater Accra Regional Security Council to remove unauthorized structures from the protected Ramsar zone. Speaking on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily, Chairman of the association, Jonathan Boyduku, described the impact as severe and called for broader consultation with affected residents and key stakeholders.
It impacted about 10.5 acres of properties, so that's quite a lot. 10 of 40 plots. We have two things playing. One, Sakumono is a Ramsar site. Two, Sakumono is a government land. Which one are we fighting for? Is it the Ramsar or the government issues? If it's Ramsar, we can all sit down and have a collaboration to see the best way to solve the problem. The government issue is one thing we can discuss another time. We can sit down and talk and see how best we can all have solution to the problem. That if there's another way, we can all sit and have conclusion on what technicalities can be put in place, so that, as I always say, the main purpose of the Ramsar shouldn't be defeated. That we can still be there, and then the purpose of the Ramsar will still be sustained. That's what we are calling for.
You heard Chairman of the Harbour View Estate Residents Association, Jonathan Boyduku. Now, one more suspect has been arrested in connection with the alleged murder of immigration officer Stephen Kenamua. The suspect, Thomas Ziga, also known as Ni Jase, appeared at the Adabraka District Court this morning. Amua was reported missing on July 3 after leaving home to meet a friend at a Shomang estate. His partially burnt body was found 5 days later at a Boom Junction near Kwabena. The key suspect, Bright Awe, believed to be the last person Amua contacted before his disappearance, has been formally charged with murder. We'll provide you more updates in our subsequent bulletins as this case continues. In some other news, counseling psychologist Bishop Fred Kranti-Mensah is calling for enhanced counseling services for the Ghana Air Force. His appeal follows the August 6 helicopter crash and the potential psychological impacts on crew members. Bishop Kranti-Mensah urged the government to engage the Ghana Psychologists Association to provide support to crew members and public officials.
I recommend that government should engage psychologists, psychological services. You see, when we had the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, government did well by engaging the services of EPA, Ghana Psychological Association. And then a lot of psychologists were released into the system to give psychological services. I was one of them, and we did a good job. So I will recommend again that government should engage psychologists to take care of both the workers and then the potential travelers. It is very important to calm nerves and to reassure them and to try as much as possible to take this fear out of their hearts.
That was Bishop Fred Crunchy-Mensah. He is a counseling psychologist. And finally, the Ghana Bar Association has dismissed claims that it failed to invite President John Dramani Mahama to its 2025 annual conference, or that it has given him less prominence than former President Nana Akufo-Addo. In a statement, the association clarified that President Mahama has been invited as the guest of honor at the conference, which will take place in Wa. That'll be all for this edition of the Citi Prime News on Citi 97.3 FM. For more news, log on to our website, citinewsroom.com. I am Charles Osukumi. Thank you for listening.
Citi News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.